Modern life is full of stress and worries. The competitive world has given us a challenging life, and many a times we cannot cope up with the fast-paced life, which leads to physical, mental and emotional disorders, which shatter us completely. In the modern world, mental health disorders have become a leading cause of disability globally, exacerbating human health. With the divine blessings of Lord Dhanvantariji, hope lies in Ayurveda. Dr. Navdeep Sharma, a spiritual healer from the city of the Golden Temple. His graduation from Sri Lakshmi Narayan Ayurvedic College, one of the oldest institute in our country, associate with Sri Durgyana Education Foundation. His masters from the University of Madras. His PhD in the role of Ayurvedic herbs in psychological disorders. Listed in the World Book of Records for promoting Ayurveda and developing a chain of Ayurvedic treatment and Panch Karma centers in various parts of the globe.
डॉक्टर नवदीप शर्मा को दुनिया भर में आयुर्वेद का जागरूकता फैलाने के लिए सम्मानित किया गया। लंदन में इंडो यूके लीडरशिप समिट में द वर्ल्ड बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स ने दिया उत्कृष्ट पुरस्कार।
लंदन में इंडो यूके लीडरशिप समिट का आयोजन, आयुर्वेद को लेकर जागरूकता पर जोर, द वर्ल्ड बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स ने लोगों को किया सम्मानित।
Commendable Global Recognition Award was received by Dr. Navdeep Sharma and Dr. Monica Sharma on behalf of ND Care Nirogam Private Limited for leading Ayurvedic services at the British Parliament, UK.
ब्रिटेन में बसा भारत का डंका, नवदीप शर्मा और डॉक्टर मोनिका शर्मा को मिला आउटस्टैंडिंग कंट्रीब्यूशन टू आयुर्वेदिक हेल्थ सर्विस पुरस्कार।
Dr. Navdeep Sharma has also been awarded the title of Pranacharya by the Akhil Bharatiya Ayurveda Mahasammellan.
Hi, good evening dear parents. Myself Vidhi. I am a psychologist at NDK Nirogam, which is known to provide the best treatment around the globe. As we discuss different topics every week regarding ABA or Applied Behavior Analysis, today also we will be discussing one of the most concerning parameters which we observed recently, which is increased screen time and its impact on children. When we are talking about autism, it becomes more concerning for parents and everybody around being a therapist that increased screen time has on children. Recently, as the globe around us is revolving and changing day by day, and with increased population around the globe, we observed the patterns of family structure changing from a nuclear family and joint family to more primary family members and more nuclear family structures, where there is one parent or single parent family, there are two parents, mother and father and the child, or sometimes two siblings. Here, with decreased amount of joint families and increased amount of nuclear families, we are catering to more environment where less and less attention is being paid to children. We are moving from a structure of a collectivistic society to more individualistic society, where we are catering to more and more of growth, denying the aspects to our children where they are required full amount of attention. When we are catering to this kind of approach, we are not able to give most of the attention to our children and resulting in more increased screen time for our children. Increased screen time in a neurotypical brain is always a negative impact, but here we are talking about children with a neurodiverse brain which have adverse consequences on their brain. Recently observed changes have viewed impacts such as visual stimming or hyperactivity in our children, multiple impacts we've observed, but parents, while giving screen time to their children, including television, phone, iPad or any other gadget, we are including each and every screen time in this regard, increases children's capacity to get irritated very quickly when the screen time is taken away from them. But parents do not realize these adverse consequences which will be impacting their children in the near future. Although parents start providing the screen when they are not able to give proper attention to their children, in a hope that the screen time which we are providing, it will benefit them, it will increase their knowledge, and the content which they are viewing, maybe it's in regards of alphabets or numbers, which my child will be learning. But on the other hand, when we are giving more and more screen time, it does not result in education, it starts resulting in more and more negative impacts to the children. Here when we talk about screen time, why we talk about the negative impacts is that when we are at 4.5 years of age or below that, our reflex learning age is something which enhances. This is a period of growing, our reflex learning or reflex actions start developing. Here the child will learn through whatever he or she observes from the environment rather than any textbook or anything which is in front of them, such as a screen. So most time should be spent by parents. Undivided attention should be given to their children. That is why provision of maternity leaves and nowadays paternity leaves are also being provided, so that parents are able to provide full attention to their children, so that their growth and development do not stop at this particular age, which is crucial in their development. Whereas, moreover, when we talk about screen time and its impact on children on the spectrum, they are worse. The first one being talking about the impacts, hyperactivity does increase when we are providing with screen time. The cause of this is when our brain is small and developing, there are n number of receptors in our brain which is registering each and every input which we are getting from the environment. Now when a child is watching screen, let us say for example our child is watching cartoons. So cartoons nowadays, too much visual input, too much sound input, most of our senses are getting overburdened by all these input. Now when increased screen time, let's say 4 hours, 5 hours of screen is given to our child is getting addicted to that screen. Whenever that screen is taken away, the brain was so much stimulated by that sound or that light input or the color input that now when the screen is off, the brain still requires the same amount of stimulation to it, because the brain is developing and it is small, and each and every aspect in the environment the brain is registering. So when the screen is taken away, we might observe a child getting restless, aimless walking, aimless jumping around the house, because the brain requires stimulation and that the brain is getting out of the movement which the child is having. The second most devastating impact with the children we've observed recently, and as per the recent research which we've had, is visual stimming. Sensory concerns also start becoming more and more as we observe increased screen time, such as visual stimming. Now visual stimming, there are multiple symptoms of visual stimming such as finger flicking, corner gazing, there can be a movement of particular object, attraction towards wheels or flow of water, multiple parameters of visual stimming. When we reduce the screen time immediately or instantly after providing 4 to 5 hours of screen throughout the day, we might see symptoms of visual stimming also starting to increase, and this is lately observed in virtual autism also. Again, another important impact which children might have when we are talking about increased screen time is decreased attention. Now the screen, as it is changing its scenarios again and again, now it was a mountain, again it changed to a scenario where the cartoons were jumping around, maybe it changed into a house. So all these scenarios which are changing in seconds. Now when the child has switched off the screen or we are not providing the screen, the environment around us is not changing. The walls remain same, the colors of the house does not keep changing again and again, therefore resulting in the child becoming overstimulated with the screen and decreased stimulation in the environment. Now when we are talking about attention, as it was increased stimulation in the screen, the child might not be able to attend to what is in front of her or him. Even if it is playing with Play-Doh or kinetic sand or any other drawing, painting activity which you provided, the child might not be able to attend to it because it has got the habit of switching off multiple things within seconds. Another impact of screen which we've observed lately is decreased physical growth. Yes, a decreased physical growth is also observed through increased screen time. How it is possible is when you are giving 6 to 7 hours of screen time and your child is sitting at one place without interaction, without any movement, the child may decrease in terms of gross motor skills, which are excessively required. We've always heard that children play and grow. So this play and grow activity should be very much essential in their routine. If they are not going out, not playing with ball, not playing in the swings and parks, this results in decreased gross motor skills, resulting in a decreased physical growth in a child. Another is decreased musculoskeletal abilities, which means that our skeletal system also starts becoming weak. This happens in adults also, in neurotypical adults also. You might have observed yourself, if you are sitting 9 to 10 hours on one seat during your working hours, you might see that your back is aching, your structure has started to dwell into more of a hunchback structure. Same happens with children also. They are at a growing age, and when they keep sitting at one place, maybe looking at iPad or maybe television, they keep sitting at one place, their skeletal muscles also start their growth at a later degree, and their development also comes. Their skeletal muscles do not develop as quickly as a child who goes out, plays every day for 2 to 3 hours of that child, in comparison to the neurodiverse child who is again given screen time. Another important impact which screen might have on our children is lack of socialization. When we are giving screen, again, we are limiting our child to interact with his peers, with his own age group children, where in later stage of life, your child might not give eye contact, might not have social smile, or not even have social turns. For example, going on a slide. Social turn simply means that a child is waiting for his or her turn and letting the other child play while waiting. Now this waiting time and social scenario situations, your child might not be able to cope up with the social situation if screen time is excessive. Another impact is language barrier. Now language has two aspects. Your neurodiverse child might be verbal. If your child is verbal, increased screen time can promote abusive language. Any negative impact can be very quick for your child to learn. Another thing, if your child is non-verbal, your child will be more and more motivated towards non-verbal communication. So gestures are more promoted in the screen. So all these impacts lead to a circle where your child is increased amount of attention towards screen and not to a face-to-face interaction with you. Although you also understand how impactful these concerns can be, but the solution to this problem is not taking that screen away from your child in an instant. It cannot be possible that you take away that iPad or television or your phone away in just a snap. This can increase tantrums in your child, this can increase hyperactivity in your child. So a quick recommendation can always be a gradual degradation of screen. Now I will be coming to the interventions which we can apply to reduce the screen time. But for all the interventions to be applied, first of all, your parents, you need to take out time for your child. All the interventions can only happen if you have time. If not you, any help or any other person, any of your relatives can help you out. But that decreased amount of screen should be happening only when more and more of time you are giving to your child. The first thing which we can do is set limits. Setting limits to screen on everyday usage can decrease the screen time on gradual basis. For example, on an average, you observe that your child has a 6-hour average every day of screen. So it is not important to reduce it to 30 minutes on the next day. What you can do, limiting the time, is throughout the week you can set yourself a target that rather than decreasing it in hours, we can try that by the end of the week at least 5.5 from 6 hours of screen time throughout the week we've decreased. So 30 minutes we've decreased throughout the week. Another intervention which we can apply is identify areas where screen time can be taken out of the routine and another activity can be placed. We understand that maybe when you are taking your child on a bus or on a train, when you are in the car or in a social event, that time you've provided the screen because your child is addicted to one. But areas such as you are cooking, you are maybe playing with your child, there totally avoid screen time and remove it from the environment so that it can be substituted with one activity which you can be doing, such as drawing, painting, maybe playing with your child's toys, so that the child also feels that my parent is getting involved with me, hence also giving proper attention to your child. Another thing can be giving the screen as a reward. So after every non-interest based activity, you can introduce the screen time as something which the child is interested in. So these two activities can be clubbed and the screen can only be provided as a reward rather than providing the screen and then taking it away after some time. Another intervention which we can apply is providing a time limit. Now time limit or a timer to your child, you can even set a stopwatch or a timer on your phone or an alarm clock. For example, your child says that I want the screen and this has to be with me, otherwise your child is throwing tantrum. Give them a timer, give them a sand timer or a stopwatch, whatever your child feels convenient in, so that you, after you negotiate, we listen to your child's thing also, that screen is provided to you, but on the other hand, with the help of a timer, you've taken away of the screen as soon as the timer ends. Maybe you've placed a 10-minute timer, so as soon as the timer ends, you can take away the screen immediately, so that your child realizes that after the timer, I am not provided with screen anyhow. Another thing is establish areas where no screen zone you are establishing, such as bedrooms or maybe play area which you have established of your child, or kitchen. Areas you have to identify where your child is not allowed to take any phone. But here, when you are phone or screen, or let's say iPad you've given, so your child will not be allowed to bring screen in that area. So you can provide, let's say the drawing room is your area to use screen as much as you can, but after that when you're going to the bed, when you're about to sleep, or in the restroom, you're not allowed to take your phone or the iPad or any other gadget which your child is using. Lastly, before limiting your child's screen time, first you need to limit your screen time also. So as a child is in an age where he is developing and is learning all the things from the environment in a reflex learning age, which is below 4.5 years of age, he or she is learning everything from the environment. So as he or she is learning everything from the environment, if parents are using screen, the child would eventually use the screen because he or she sees his parents doing the same. Therefore, we should try limiting our screen time or our usage of the screen. Give ample amount of attention to your child, do more face-to-face interactions rather than limiting your child's growth. Because once all these development we are not able to have in a limited specific time period, the developments or the milestones which were to happen before 4.5 years of age will get delayed and happen in not even in couple of months, maybe in the years to come, which could have happened in a couple of weeks only if screen time was not provided. So you can apply all these interventions, and if you have any doubts related to all these interventions which I have provided in today's session, feel free to comment down below. Thank you so much for your time, dear parents.